3 months into his second term, President Donald Trump is rapidly escalating a confrontation with the very foundations of American democracy. Courts, elite universities, the media, and even the legal profession are under direct attack. What we are witnessing is not just aggressive politics. It's a deliberate power grab that is pushing the United States toward a constitutional crisis. In the Oval Office, Trump recently hosted El Salvador's authoritarian president, Nayib Bukele, who has suspended parts of his own constitution and imprisoned tens of thousands without due process. Bukele openly encouraged Trump, saying, "To liberate 350 million people, you have to imprison some." Trump did not object. That same day, the two leaders celebrated the deportation of a man from Maryland to a notorious Salvadoran megaprison, carried out in defiance of a U.S. judge's order. Despite a 9-0 Supreme Court ruling demanding the man's return, the Trump administration has refused to act, claiming the judiciary has no jurisdiction over its immigration policy. Legal experts warn that this behavior represents open defiance of the rule of law. Retired Judge Shara Scheindlin called it the edge of a constitutional crisis. Harvard law professor Lawrence Tribe said the administration's actions signal a deadly game that threatens the rights of all citizens. Meanwhile, the Trump White House is waging parallel battles against academia and the press. It has threatened elite universities like Harvard with massive funding cuts unless they change protest policies, dismantle diversity programs, and alter their curricula. Harvard refused. Trump retaliated by freezing billions in federal support. Media outlets are also under fire. CBS's 60 Minutes and the Associated Press have faced threats of license revocation and bans from White House events for refusing to adopt Trump's preferred narratives. Law firms that represented clients opposed to the administration are being coerced into hundreds of millions of dollars of pro bono work under threat of further retaliation. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has begun canceling visas of foreign students involved in protests, arguing their actions contradict U.S. foreign policy. Some students have been arrested on the street or forced to flee the country. One, a Palestinian student who has lived in the U.S. for a decade and was applying for citizenship, was taken away in handcuffs during a routine immigration visit. Trump has also suggested deporting U.S. citizens who commit violent crimes, despite constitutional protections. The administration's growing disregard for due process, judicial authority, and civil liberties mirrors the authoritarian playbooks of leaders like Hungary's Viktor Orban. Trump's power moves aim to weaken every independent institution that might challenge him, whether it's the courts, universities, law firms, or the press. And now, the deportation case at the center of this firestorm. Abrego Garcias will return to court, but the administration insists it cannot retrieve him from El Salvador, despite earlier coordination with Bukele to deport him in the first place. The message is clear. The executive branch is daring the judiciary to enforce its rulings, while signaling to the country that the rule of law can be selectively obeyed, as institutions resist or yield. The constitutional collision long feared in American politics may no longer be a question of if, but when.